Constance Healthy Counseling and Coaching. We're a boutique practice. We've been in business for about 6 years, but I feel like I've done this for a decade. I was a life coach for a decade. I was a little bit older of an intern, so when I became an intern in my 40s, I was in a practice and no one would take couples. I'm a Gen X, I'm hungry, I need hours. So they started giving me every couple that came in, and I learned quickly I didn't know what I was doing. The stuff in school does not work. They were more pissed off when they left, and I'm like, this isn't really helping anybody. I don't think they're gonna come back. I am licensed, I'm a licensed mental health therapist. I'm also a nationally certified counselor. I am a Gottman trained and certified counselor as well. We love our space. We are, we have a little practice in Winter Park. We're behind the Palmetto, we're behind the Black Bean Deli, Orange and Fairbanks. We have the whole second floor. We are the #1 couples counselor in Winter Park. Google just gave us an award, which is awesome. We have over 100 5-star reviews. I feel like we're the acupuncturist of the community. Like when you have to go see a doctor and you're not getting what you need, and you go to like an actual or functional medicine doctor, I feel like we're those therapists. I get those couples. I answer the phone. I'm the one that does the 15-minute consult, which really ends up being 30, sometimes 40. And typically it's that. We went to therapy, it didn't work. The therapist took sides. I didn't feel heard. I was more pissed off when I left. And I can tell you that that does not happen in my practice. And sometimes when a new couple comes in, we'll do the intake and I'll do this whole intake situation, and it's very scientific. I don't go, so what's your problem? I don't do that, because that's gonna be a disaster. I tell you why you're here. I tell you, let's figure out your language patterns. What are your belief systems? What's going on? Well, how are you talking to each other? We don't get into conversations till later. So with that said, these principles are gonna go through. You probably have questions, but because we have limited time and I want to get all the principles in for you, I will stay an hour after and I'll ask any questions that you have. And your questions may be answered as we go through these slides. These principles are based off the 7 principles. You can open up your little guide. These are awesome, by the way. We're not going to do all the exercises. These are a little bit workbook stuff, but you can take it home. So the 7 principles are built by John Gottman. A couple people know who he is. It's not a theory, and this retreat is not therapy. I just want to make sure we know that. We're going to connect, we're going to do some question and answers. If you're having a lot of problems in your relationship, just talk to me later. This is kind of a fun get together, let's figure some things out, let's connect. Let's talk a little bit about John Gottman. He's been doing this for 40 years. Him and his buddy decided that they were going to study couples, right? They decided they were in a university, they were professors. Can you see this? 2 young guys going, let's study couples. They weren't in a relationship. Didn't have anything to do with this. They just thought it'd be fun. They opened a Love Lab. I don't remember what college it is. I think it's Boston College. The Love Lab looked like an Airbnb. They put people into the Love Lab, couple after couple after couple, and studied them. They did not help them. All they did was watch them. Couple after couple after couple. 10 years they did this. Research, data, and you'll see Julie and John. Julie is his wife. During sessions, he says very little. And she's the one that's conducting the sections. After 10 years, he met Julie, and John Gottman he started out as a child therapist. I think his degree was in child therapy. It wasn't couples. I just think he thought it would be fun, and he was a professor out there. He met Julie 10 years later. She is a trauma specialist, worked with veterans and trauma. When they got together, it took 5 more years for her to convince him to make this into a model. So this was a 15-year in the making. So what Gottman understood as he watched these couples, there were 2 types of couples. And again, he didn't help them. There were the master couples and the disaster couples. There is not a couple in between. My client who's an attorney, he goes, what's the couple in between? There isn't a couple in between. Either you're headed for disaster or you're headed for master, right? And it's okay where you are on the scale. It's okay. You can always go from one side to the other. And we're going to understand a little bit what a master couple is. So what are master couples? When we talk about master couples, we're talking about couples that are really happy. Not perfect couples, not couples who never fight, but couples who have learned how to stay connected even when things get hard. Master couples are happy couples, and again, that doesn't mean everything is always easy. It means they've developed tools that help them keep their relationship healthy and strong over time. They learn how to show up with love empathy, patience, humor, and understanding, even in moments where things are not easy. So what do happy couples actually have in common? It is not luck. It is not chemistry alone. It is the way they consistently show up for each other. They are having positive everyday interactions. They laugh together, they talk, and they genuinely act like they're best friends. And when conflict comes up, and they will, they do not go into attack mode. They handle things in a gentle, caring way. They know how to repair when things start to go sideways, and they do not let arguments escalate. They come back, they soften, and they reconnect. They're also really good at soothing each other during conflict. It is not me versus you. It is we are in this together. And that is where the idea of we-ness versus me-ness comes in. Their relationship feels like a team. They're able to talk about hard emotions, not just the easy stuff, but the uncomfortable, vulnerable things too. And honestly, they just enjoy each other's company. They enjoy being around one another. Master couples do small, intentional things, and they know how to make each other happy. Not just because they have to, because they want to. They show up, they have each other's backs, they're available when things matter. They care about their partner's well-being just as much as they do their own. One of the biggest things is they assume the best in each other. Instead of jumping to negative conclusions, they pause and they think, my partner's doing the best they can right now. Master couples keep the relationship alive and intentional. They make romantic gestures, little reminders that say, I'm thinking about you. They bring humor and lightness even during stressful seasons. They express appreciation, often loud and intentional. They focus on maintaining connection, not just coexisting. At the end of the day, master couples treat their relationship like it matters, like it really matters. They treat it as one of the most important things in their life. And because of that, they invest in it. What is a master couple, right? Do master couples fight? Yes. Do master couples have conflict? Absolutely. In fact, master couples fight more than disaster couples. That's what he figured out. Clients come in and tell me, solve this problem, we'll be good. I'm like, well, then what about the next problem? And that was my thing when I was doing the internship. I'm like, I'm gonna have to live with these people. And they're gonna summons me from the upstairs every time they have a fight. That's not helpful, right? I don't wanna be that therapist. I wanna be able to help people to have tools, right? So master couples fight, but they know how to repair, and that's the difference between a master couple and a disaster couple. 78% of your problems are going to be perpetual. At least I don't say that at the beginning of a session, because typically people come in, they want me to solve their problems. 78% will not be solved. But Gottman says that we can do this through the master model and become connected. I don't have to solve your problem to do that. But what happens in my room, after about 6 sessions, they'll be in session together. I'll see them individually. We don't do couples. That's disastrous, because then you get triggered, and then he gets triggered, and then now I'm triggered, and now I'm a mediator, right? So we don't do that in the office. We separate you, right? You'll see one roll out of the office. I'll know there's a couple in that office, one of my interns, whatever. One will roll out. The one that's regulated leaves the room. We don't let fighting happen. You can fight for free, right? That's not cool. Yeah, for sure. So we don't let you fight in our room. So we do the individuals, and I bring you back for your couple. I'll have them, and they'll be connecting, and they'll be crying a little bit, and they'll be holding each other. And I go, how do you feel? More connected, less connected? More connected. More understanding, less understanding? More understanding. More empathy, less empathy? More. Did I solve your problem? No, because I didn't. You can go home and do that. I'll give you a model. If it's really tricky, I'm not talking affairs and trauma. That's outside the model. Those have to be over addiction, affairs, trauma. They're a little outside the model. They have to be taken care of on their own before you can do the model of Gottman. But it's about connection. It's about how do I repair with my partner, not who solves the problem. So you start feeling a little wonky in your relationship, find a good therapist. We are the best in town. People ask me all the time, who do you recommend? I don't. I don't know anybody in this town that does what we do. If they do, I don't know them. They're not insurance company providers. We are very different outside the model. Do you know somebody in Davenport? I'm like, no, but I do virtual. You know somebody in Canada? No, but I do virtual. We looked about the masters and disasters. So the masters are allied, which doesn't mean we agree. People think that I have to agree with my partner. No, we don't. We just have to be allies. We're looking at sympathy, vulnerability, intimacy. This is where we want to go. All my models go to this. Connection. Not who's right or who's wrong, connection. They give effort. So sometimes they come in my room and one partner is in the room and the other partner, they're disconnected. And one partner goes, I don't know if they want to do this. I go, well, they're here. So that's effort. Willingness is everything. Appreciating each other, making sure we're appreciating. I think allies is the best one. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for problem solving. That's later. It's okay to get problem solving from your partner, but it's typically not what we're looking for, both of us. We're looking to have an ally, right? We look to understand accountability is huge. Being accountable. What did I do in this situation? Yield to win. That's what masters do. Vulnerability is another big one. Be vulnerable. You're not going to get too deep into that today, but in my individual sessions, I crack you open a little bit, so I know what's going on in there, so you can turn to your partner and be vulnerable. So we're looking at connection. That, you want to write any word down for this seminar, is going to be connection. So these are the 4 horsemen. These are the 4 horses that Gottman saw, the horse of the apocalypse that ran through relationships. Here's what they are, that would destroy relationship. I have 8. Mostly because during my room, there was 5 more, I think, that I saw a lot. So I brought those in. Those are the other 4. So criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. And the reason, these are a little out of order for me. You're not going to find these in your booklet because I want to do this first. Because as you have your exercises, I want you to be aware what these look like. Okay? Gentle startup, criticism, it's the you and you. So on your paper right now, write the word you and scratch it out. No more you conversations. This is my model. No more you. We change the criticism, gentle startup to I. I feel this way, not I feel that you. No. No, I feel this way, and a feeling is one word. Sad, overwhelmed, proud, frustrated. It's one word. A narrative is different, a story is different. I feel this way, gentle startup, defensiveness, take responsibility, my. And defensiveness can also look like you're trying to, be okay about something. You left the garage door open. Yeah, but I was busy and I had the kid. That's defensiveness. I'm not listening to my partner when I'm doing that, right? So watch defensive, take responsibility, right? My contempt is the biggest predictor of divorce and separation. I've seen it on my couch. I know when it's coming. I can't predict this. Gottman has his theories. I've seen couples come in to me, and in my brain, I'm like, oh, yeah, this isn't going to work. But they do. If their love maps are strong, which you're going to learn, they can make it back. Any couple can make it back in my office, as long as they're both willing and they're giving effort. Yeah? My, me. You stay out of contempt by saying me. Me. I feel this way. These are my feelings. This is about me. My, me. No yous. And then we talked about stonewalling. Make sure that stonewalling, you're breathing. Blake had a nice breath here earlier. Breathe. Take a 30-minute break. Blood sugar went down, heart rate went down, blood pressure went down. Stonewalling, take a 30-minute, come back. Take a 30-minute, come back. If you can't and you're not regulated, you have kids or things are happening, make sure that you make it for the next day. Please come back. Because think about this. Who has the power? The person leaving the conversation or the person staying in the conversation? Who has the power? The person leaving or the person staying? The person leaving. And the person staying has no idea when they're coming back. Don't abandon your partner. It's not fair. It's not okay. If you're flooded, know you're flooded. 0, no. 10 being the most. 0 to 10, where am I? If I'm getting to a 4 or a 5, I'm flooded. Take a break. You can tell your partner, I'm getting to a 4. Don't do it to withdraw though. Don't do it as like a weapon. Don't do that. Let's take a walk together. Let's take a shower. Let's go outside. Let's breathe. Take a break and come back. This is a journey, guys. Your relationship is not a destination. My CEOs, anybody who run companies, it's not a destination, it's a journey. This is not a mission. It is an interaction between two people that are trying to learn from each other. Life can happen for you or to you. You get to make that decision. Your partner can be your greatest teacher or your greatest villain. That is up to you. So I, my, me, here it is. No you, use. And the reason I started with this is because we're going to do some exercises and I want you to practice this. Now when you repeat back to your partner, you can say, I hear you saying. But if you do this, like we're going to talk about love maps, and you practice this, and you take the yous out of all your conversations, if conflicts come, those gridlock moments, which means the same conversation over and over again, or that flooding happened, you're already there. But if you wait to pull out the model, it's probably not going to work. Is that fair? Is that tracking? Yeah, we got our little models here. You, taking all those out. So this is what we're going to work on today. We're going to start with principle 1. I'm going to talk about principle 1. I gave you some little tools to do these exercise with. We're going to go to shared fondness and admiration. How do you nurture, right? Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Turning towards and not away, we're going to talk about that. Turning towards your partner, not turning away. Letting your partner influence you. Notice it's not here. Problem solving. No. It's here. Oh, look, solve your unsolvable problems, which is not true. We're going to learn to understand these problems. We probably won't solve them. Maybe we can compromise. Notice how this is here. Notice how problem solving isn't here. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's at the top. What is a love map? So we're going to do some exercises. What is a love map? A love map is how well you know your partner. How detailed a map their mind is the other person's personal life. So how detailed a map in their mind is the other person's life. So there is a map for each person's persona. What do I know about my partner? I just read this. It's making me confused. Asking open-ended questions to spark meaning and conversation. That's wrong. It's all about the details. How well do I know my partner? Is our friendship strong? That is how you'll be able to get to the next stage of this. This is the dating game. This is what you know about your partner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, do you know your partner's dream? Do you know what your partner is currently facing? Can you list relatives my partner likes the least? Can I list my partner's major aspirations and hopes in life? It's okay if we don't get this correct. I know my partner's major current worries. So let's see if you know this about your partner. Do we know these love maps? There's another page, we will just glance at this one, but I just want you to see, do you know what your partner's going through? Do you know that? It's okay if you don't. And there's no pass or fail. Okay. So turn to each other and share your answers. Do they match? If they don't, it's okay. It just means we have some work to do. Laughter is good. I love hearing laughter. This should be fun. There you go. This should be fun. All right, guys, what did we learn?
Yeah, we are.
Remember, these are things you can do at home, too. What did we learn? Do we know our partner? No. It's okay. That's okay. We know where to start. We didn't know our partner. That's okay. This is going to get you there. The next page, page 19, goes into even deeper. So this is something you can take home with you, and you guys can do this at home. It's the dating game. Connection is when I tell my partner what my needs are. It may be 100 million times. If we're doing it the right way, it'll build connection. If we're doing it the wrong way and the you use, it will disconnect us. My relationship now and my relationship vision. What's my relationship now? Maybe we're not as connected as I thought, which is okay. And then what's my vision? We're going to talk about how can we get more connected? How can we start asking each other questions? How can we start making rituals of connection? Always date your partner. So put down some relationship visions. Now that we understand love maps. Gottman has a card deck. If you open up the App Store, he doesn't do much for free, but he does have a card deck on the App Store called the Gottman card deck. And all the cards are in there. There's rituals of connection, there's open-ended questions, There's sexy cards. They're called the salsa cards. But this is something, you have a Gottman night, you pull out the card deck, ask a couple questions to each other. So that is free in the Apple Store. Sound good, guys?